It's from you. It's you. You got to make me go live.
Then we live.
We live, baby. What up, man? What up? We are live. We still got 2 more women that's going to join us. But, hey, how's everybody doing, man? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Right. Is this what is this, the second Saturday of the month?
Yeah.
Hey.
Man.
Already.
Who got them Tiana Taylors last week?
I didn't.
I'm so sad. I done forgot, and then I got busy at work. My husband was like, "Oh, you got the drop, right?" And I'm like, "Damn."
You know what it was? It was like seeing the pictures. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I love me some Tiana Taylor. I have her
exactly.
I have her Ewan, and I have her her Reebok Question, the all red one. So I was like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling that giant oversized swoosh.
Man, me neither.
Then when I got them in person, I was like, you know what? I'm still on the fence about it. But then I'm in the sneaker group on Facebook, and it was a girl in there who's the same size as me, who put them on. And I was like, you know what? They look better on small feet, because all the pictures I was seeing on Instagram was everybody with big feet. They was men feet. Yeah. And I was like, it's not given. Like, I don't understand what is. It's not. It's just the disconnect. I just think the shoe looks better on a smaller foot. So I'm thinking about reaching back and grabbing them.
Oh, they still got your size?
I'll probably just grab them off the resale market. I'm sure they're not sitting anywhere because it's a Tiana Taylor release. So
I know it. Did you see she was signing shoes, y'all? She was at the store.
I bought 5 pair just to meet her. Like, the colorway was all right, but her name behind it,
I like the shoe. I like the swoosh. I like the different colors. Like, I like the shoe.
The DNA show, he tore that shoe up in review. He kind of changed my mind a little bit. I ain't gonna even lie. He said the material was real thin.
It is because it's a Zoom Comfort, Comfort too. Well, material is a little thinner, but it's very soft. I think what threw me off with the pictures, besides it being on bigger feet, was those yellow laces. It was giving me Ronald McDonald. When you switch out the laces to like a white lace, it makes it just look cleaner.
Oh, I can see that.
I just go with like either white or like a stale color lace in it, because I can't do the yellow. It's really giving McDonald's, and I'm not.
You're not feeling the Ronald McDonald.
You ain't clowning around with him, huh?
Not at all.
Don't talk about it's giving me McDonald's.
What I was disappointed in, leading up to the release, all the celebrities that were getting the shoes, it seems like it was men, and that I was a little like, why? Khaled, not valid.
Wayne, like all
not valid.
That, like, it was all men that was getting a shoe, and it was a women's exclusive shoe. Not that men can't buy it, but I would have liked to see some of the women celebrities, even like a WNBA player, or or even like if she just like, I don't know, pick random people who are on Instagram who are women in the sneaker community, who are women in the trenches.
You didn't see any of that.
No, I saw all men unboxing these shoes.
Yep. And it confused a lot of people that were consumers. They didn't know what size to buy.
Yeah, it would have been cool if it let promote women more.
Right.
It was kind of odd to have a women's sneaker and it was nothing but men. Like,
I was like,
they know who's gonna be spending the money though on the shoes. Like they playing into that on purpose. That goes right into why we're all here tonight.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man.
They were dealing with that.
The crazy thing is that women have been spending money on shoes since the beginning of time. How much money we putting into our pumps before we and our dress up shoes before we decide to retire them and get more comfort shoes like sneakers? Women spend money on shoes. So I don't understand. They spend money on purses. They spend money on shoes. They spend money on a lot of things. So it's not like we won't pay for those shoes. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to, what our needs are, what we're looking for. Don't just think the guy in the back office who's probably like 65 and aged out of, sneakers knows what it is that we want. We like dressing up our sneakers. We like dressing down our sneakers. We like comfort. Like, I used to work in like New York, and I did the office attire where I had to wear pumps and stuff like that. But on my commute to work, I would always wear sneakers. When I get into the office, then I would switch them out for my pumps. Now that I can wear sneakers. Man, listen, I ain't put on a pair of pumps since I don't know when.
Oh, you and me together. You and me together. We both on that one.
I'm like, listen, I want to be comfortable. I don't got those mag knees no more. Like, I can't do it.
What you talking about? I love Zoom Comfort. I don't know why people keep saying that. Like, nobody likes Zoom Comfort. I'm like, I do like Zoom Comfort shoes. Like, they're actually comfortable. Like, I like them.
I do have only the one pair of Zoom Comfort, the Laylee May, the green and blue. I don't have a ton of them because it was like, listen, I can't keep up with the Zoom Comfort, the Jordan 1s, the Jordan 1s.
I gotta have at least 12 pair of them bad boys.
Jordan 1 highs. I was like, y'all Jordan wanted me to death, so listen, I'm gonna just pick and choose. And
okay, them Zoom.
I got about.
I don't even think I have
maybe 12 pair of them.
You got 12 pairs
of Zoom Comforts?
I got 2.
Nice.
I only have
the
one. I only have the one.
And you know what? I had a picture on my page, and everybody seemed to love it. It was a Zoom Comfort. It was a green sneaker.
It have a lot of colorways.
I mean, some of them crazy and they horrible, but if you get the right ones, like I was mad I missed out on the blue pair that went with the green pair that I got, and I actually took the green pair as a consolation. Like I have an all gray pair like that. Like I literally have some solid color Zoom Comforts, but I like them. Right. I do. I have the Laylee May pair. I love those. Like I don't know. I like Zoom Comfort. That's why I'm like, okay. And you know what? I don't mind that Zoom Comfort sit because I'd be like, oh, I can go back to finding a sneaker that I like that I can get on sale. Like,
hey, get them all
keep sleeping.
I can get them
keep
all
sleeping. I love it. But these, like, they sold. I was like, oh, okay. So y'all only want these because of the name connected to the shoe, like for real.
That's all it is.
That's it. And you want they just want to sell it. That's all. Yeah. Half these people that end up getting the shoe can't wear the shoe, don't want to wear the shoe, and they just buying it because they think they're about to make some dollars off of it.
Yeah,
they literally sold out so fast that I was just like, oh, I kind of was like, oh well. Like I went in to stand in the online line, but then I was like,
yeah.
Oh, I wasn't standing in nobody's line.
If I would have known about her being in New York and people going out there to see if they can get their shoes on, I definitely would have went out there for that because I was out there camping for her Ewan release and I didn't get a chance to actually meet her because the company that ran the venue were letting some of their friends cut the line. So they actually ran out of the shoe in my size, but I complained so much about the company that ran the actual event that the people who the event was ran for, the manager hit me up and I ended up getting my pair of Ewans. Yeah.
See, and that is why we're here. Yeah. Because women voices need to be heard without all that extra that you had to go through.
Yeah.
And that's the sole reason why we're here. We got 2 more coming, which is great. But I got 6 total of us here tonight come together so we can talk about one, our experience as women in this community. 2, what are we wanting to see? You know what I'm saying? With where the sneaker game is going. I did a lot of research, man. I got some really cool stuff that it really blew my mind to realize that 1, there's nothing out there on the platform with women talking about what they going through in this male dominating game, quote unquote. Can I please put that there? Because Nike purposely, and it's written in facts, Nike has purposely put more money into their women's exclusive shoes and clothes because it sells out quicker than any other exclusive that get released. So it's women's name on everything, but it's men that's copying it and taking it and making it a male dominating type of culture. So I want to hear
they
from you.
They also up the price of it. So like we pay men's prices for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. And with less material.
Yeah,
we're making a women's shoe. It's got way less material, but we still paying $180 to $210.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? It's if I get the quality in the shoe, I won't mind spending the money on it. Like for instance, some of the Jordan 1s that do start at like a 3.5 men's and go up, I will grab the 5.5 men's over the 5.5 Why?
The same thing.
One, because the shoe is made better. It's literally like choosing leather over plastic. Not that Nike is 100% leather to begin with, but there's definitely a difference in the material that the shoe is made of. And I know that they make it cheaper because it's a grade school shoe and because kids are wearing it.
They're growing out of them. They're
right. So why not? I understand the kids release, but why not start every shoe? You know, even though they have the kids release, start every shoe with the men starting at a 3.5, because I definitely choose the quality versus the cheaper price.
The quality, the cut, the fit, everything. Because you get a 7Y versus a 7 men's, because that's where I'm at size wise.
Me too.
The 7Y, like the Lost and Founds, I was like, I'm gonna spend the money for a men's size 7 because the cut looks like a mid versus an actual Jordan 1.
Yes.
The material different. It fits a lot better. Like, but it's like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we making us have? And then 7s, you can't find them. It's just like any other smaller size in men. Nope. You want the quality, you're spending out the behind because you can't find them anywhere.
Right.
And then you have to settle for that little black box with the gold jump in.
Yeah. Get your sticker, man.
You know, a little black box with the
sticker.
gold
I'm so
jump
sick of
in.
them stickers.
I think it was the Reimagined 3s. Like they did the grade school dirty. Experience.
The whole box.
Right. What are we reimagining?
Me and I think me and my husband grabbed a pair and I did a review and I was like, wait a second, they did us so dirty on this box.
Yes.
So dirty. Yes. The fit was a lot better.
The black box?
That reimagined classic fit. But I was like, man, listen, it's the
details. Get the box.
It's the details.
Us women appreciate the details. The men don't care so much, but we give the ones that appreciate it the details.
Right.
Listen, and Eye for Kicks, I love how you brought that up because do you know that the women's exclusive release that has been around with the WNBA players, they have now saying that those shoes are the most detailed shoes that has ever really been released amongst Reeboks, Adidas, Nike. It's the women's exclusive shoe. The majority of them other shoes are really boring if you look at it. You look at a women's exclusive shoe like Sheryl Swoopes.
Yeah.
That is a pretty damn nice, beautiful, detailed shoe.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Sheryl Swoopes, she just put it all together for us to do this tonight.
Right.
You know, she opened the doors and I Sell Sneakers brought that shoe up on my channel that day.
I did.
Didn't know as much as I know now. That honestly, you know, it's the details that work for us, but they leaving that out.
Right.
They leaving out what women really want to see in these shoes.
Right.
Out of them 76,000 employees at Nike, how many are women employees of, you know, that's redesigning and designing these shoes? How many of them are really women is what I want to know.
I don't know. Some people probably have to do some research on that and dig and find out the numbers. I know there's a woman that's on Twitter. I forget her name. I'll probably have to look it up when we're done here. That sometimes she has like these Twitter spaces, and she's she works for Nike, and she's a Black woman, and she was put in position, I think, with when it comes to design. So they have women in these spaces, in these meetings, in these boardrooms. It's just with Nike, sometimes they don't like to let go of the control. And you know, I don't understand what that is, because creativity is going to sell. Like you see now with the shoes are sitting because you're beating us over the top. Every
stuff.
You're just switching a color out or switching a toe box color out, and people like, you know what? I got 45 red and black shoes. Or
right.
They've been killing us with the crafts lately. The 4s, the 5s, the 1s, everything.
So it's like you need to shake things up a bit. You need creativity. Now I know Nike has like a little they have somebody who combs through Instagram, because you know they steal a lot of like customizers designs, and then they'll later come out with it too. So why not get these people who you steal these designs from in a room and have a think tank and have them come up with a couple of the designs for you guys, you know, because they're in the trenches. These people not only wear the shoes, they walk the life, they talk the life, they design the life. So you can get them to help you design some shoes and maybe give them, you know, I don't know, some free shoes, or give them, I don't know, something as far as compensation. I'm sure they can all agree on that. But if you're taking these people's intellectual thoughts or ideas and putting them on your shoes, because these people are actually designing, customizing on your shoes to begin with, why not get them in these boardrooms so they can help you out?
100%.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of those are women.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I bet you they are. All this is so underground as far as like women voices in sneaker culture and community, that we're not voicing enough about how we feel about it.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this: Karma Wonder and I Sell Sneakers and 313, y'all the OGs. Because I think in Afro Kicks, you've been in the game how long again?
Like maybe 5 years.
Okay,
like,
and then Jeannie, you've been in the game how long?
Probably around 5-6 years.
Yeah, I know Karma wanted to go back to them lines outside the stores, and I Sell Sneakers and 313. So you guys have to be able to see how it came from an underground thing to now as big as it is right now to this day. What I don't like is a simple fact is that why is it still so challenging for women to have a voice in this sneaker community when we are the ones really, really spending the money, and they are making exclusive releases for us that the men are buying?
It's crazy. I just don't understand it, because not only do you have women buying shoes for themselves, most people got kids. They buying it for their sons, their daughters, they nieces, they nephews. So women are spending the money on the shoes. Like I don't know how many times I've spent shoes on some of my friends, spent money on shoes for some of my friends' kids, or I'm a godmother to this one, I'm a godmother to that one. I spend money on shoes. So we're spending the money. Why not, you know, let us put our voice in there every once in a while?
Exactly.
So I'm looking at this, and it says there are 16 executive leaders on Nike's board. Of those 16, 4 of them are women.
That's crazy.
And I think one of them got promoted to president of Jordan Brand, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Out of how many?
16.
There's only 4 women. And listen,
only one of color.
Only one of color. We got that one. No.
It's crazy.
That's not nearly enough, though.
Like, but you know what? It's
please say that again.
Like right now, at this point in time, women in sneakers have been the most visible that I've seen in I've been in sneakers probably like 10 plus years. So it's most visible right now. This little bit that we're seeing, I've never seen that much at the same time.
But the fact that it's taken that long for it to get to where it is now, like that's insane to me. I can't even understand it. And I've only been in it but for 5 years, but to know how many of you amazing women have been in it for so long, and this is how far we've come in 10 years, that's a shame.
Yeah. I think it's a matter of them moving the, I guess, lack of better term, the good old boys out. You know what I'm saying? We've had so many certain older gentlemen in the boardroom in higher up places that we have to wait for them to leave because they're kind of stuck in their ways. They don't really know what's going on right now. And so the people that are filtering into the boardroom, they're there. They just can't say anything, or, they don't have enough seniority to be taken seriously in their word of what's going on in the culture.
Right. They need that fresh blood. It's like, okay, he been working for Nike for 45 years on a design team. Like, he's stale. Get him out. I don't know. Photocopy papers. I don't know. Push the mail. Get the coffee. You can still pay him what you paying him, but we need fresh blood. We need fresh eyes.
Or even more support. Like the women that are there. If some of the men, if somebody could support the good ideas, but it's like it almost feels like they're afraid to go against what's been this institution for so long.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Right. I agree.
I mean, we've pretty much been paving the way. I came across something that was really interesting that I'm gonna share right quick, and it says that why is the sneaker market male dominated? And it says the sneakers were primarily made for sport, and of course, it was frowned upon for women to participate in sports, unlike for men. So the sneaker industry has always favored men's needs over women's, and unfortunately, this hasn't changed with the times.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they need to get out of that way of thinking because sneakers aren't for just sport anymore. You know,
Okay.
people are wearing them everyday life. They
Right. How? But you gotta notice they changed the whole name of the sneaker and made it a lifestyle sneaker. But
shoe.
now, so
right.
you can't change that and then expect it to still be male dominated because it's a sports thing. Like they're kind of like it's double edged. You know what I'm saying? Like they saying, oh, it's lifestyle to make this whole sale, but you're really not gearing it towards everyone anyway. Because if they did, their sneakers would be more inclusive to where the sizing, where you have women's sizing and men's sizing. Why? Just have one general sizing. Like, why do you have men's shoes and women's shoes? Why can't it just be? I mean, like, we just got the washed pink. What we doing here? Is it a women's shoe? Is it a male shoe? It don't matter because sometimes we get these shoes and you think, oh, that's gonna be a women's release, and you like, no, that's a men's release.
It's just the excuse to get more money.
That's it.
It's crazy because the men and the women are buying the washed pink. The men and the women, like I remember when I forget which year those pink and white 12s came out, and it was insane. There were men fighting for the shoe.
Oh yeah,
pink and white.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Men fighting over those shoes.
What a grown man doing? Like,
yes, and then once the shoe released and everybody got them in their hands, my Instagram feed was getting flooded. It was like pictures with some dude and 15 of his homeboys. They all had on pink and white Jordan 12.
No.
Okay, Cameron, what?
No, Karma Wonder, are you serious?
Yes. When the satin what was it? The satin black toe with the in the back. I went to a release, Kick It with Didi. She set it up for some store she has connections with, where she was able to bring a set number of women. It might have been 12, 15 of us in total, where she secured our pair. We still had to pay for them, but she made sure that they had our pair set to the side. So we went out there to the store. We stayed outside until the store opened, but we were kind of just standing to the side because we knew we had our shoes on lock. But while we were standing there, the line was literally, and it was a woman's shoe, riddled with men. They were fighting outside the store while we were standing here. I was like, what?
Same thing, because I went outside. I was standing out. I was in line. I was waiting, and I'm sitting here going, where is men coming from? Like, where are the ladies at? Like, I'm standing there, and I'm just like surrounded by testosterone. Like, what? What y'all doing?
I'm like, so it's. I don't understand the separation. The woman's exclusive, the men's shoe. Just make it just a one release. Start it at a 3.5 and go up. And if you decide you want to do grade school, you do the grade school. Those women that don't wear in the grade school shoe will pay the grade school price. Me, I want the quality, so I'll pay the extra money. I'll pay the 180 or I'll pay the 200 unless I strike out on it. Then I'm left with no choice but to get the
grade school.
Yeah, so it's there's no.
You know what? Talk to me about that, because there be a lot of people that come on here that talk about how they have the grade school size. I think 313 mentions this a lot on her channel, and how like they use again less material to make the shoe. Is the price still the same, or is the price different? But if you go up 2 more sizes, you jump in $100 and some dollars.
Well,
2 more to 3 more sizes.
If it's specifically a grade school run of the shoe, you'll pay the cheaper price. What is the Jordan ones? 140,
140. Yeah, 140, 150, depending upon the release.
But if $30 less than the other sizes.
If they do the men's release and they started at a 3.5, that'll usually run you what, 180, 190.
180.
Yeah.
What?
Extra
Yep.
money to get that 5.5 men's because the shoe is built better.
Yeah, it's a different shoe.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah.
different feel.
Like I know
I still don't get that though. It
Coffee
doesn't
was
make
just
any
saying a
sense
minute
to
ago
me.
how they did them wrong on the Big Bubble 86 Air Max ones. And
Well,
but for the GS, I don't know what the GS sizes look like, but I was more than happy with my size because I got a 6, but I got a man 6. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's what I did. I bought them.
and I didn't want to chance it with that sneaker because I knew I wanted that sneaker. Not that I'm a huge Air Max 1 fan, but for something like that, that's an OG to that extent, I wanted to make sure I had that sneaker, as close to an original as possible that a remake could be. You know what I mean? And I already knew that I wasn't about to mess around and grab a grade school. Granted, it's crazy to me because even with that sneaker being so iconic, I can't believe it sat like it did, still sitting around in places. But I was like, yeah, I'm not chancing it. Like I paid full price for it. I went out, got it, when it came a little bit before it came out.
Mhm.
But I'm happy with my pair. But I see people are like, yeah, the grade school, which I knew it. I already knew. Trying to put a Big Bubble in a grade school with the materials that they're already trying to cut, like it probably ain't gonna work out too great.
I learned my lesson when it comes to Air Maxes with when they do a grade school and an adult men's release or whatever have you, unisex release. With the Big Bubble, I did buy the men's 5. With the swipers, when they released those swipers back in the day, they did a grade school release and they did the men's release. I had picked the grade school swiper, of course, because it was cheaper. When I was like, yeah, nah, this feels like paper mache, and I took it back.
Paper mache?
It was really cheap. It was bad.
It's bad. I still have it. Like it's over there, but it's one of my kick around shoes. Like,
right. I get it because it's for kids, and kids usually don't take care of their shoes, which is why I'm like, okay, us women wear sneakers. Some of us are on the smaller end of the spectrum. So, why not start the men's line at a 3.5 and run it up, and then you have your grade school.
Right.
So you got this classic high top by Jonah Purdue swipers. Are these it? They blue and white?
It's an Air Max. It's an Air Max.
Ah, okay. Let me pull that up. I'm looking at that shoe right now. It's an Air Max shoe.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the grade school was just not it at all. Like when it came to the materials.
Man.
Yeah, Shoe Like Fire. She said quality of grade school is, hold on, it just jumped. Is usually not as good as men's release.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why we're here, because we're tired of that. And that was another comment. Oh, those right there. Oh,
and in the men's,
I was about to say this might be it.
it's a really nice shoe. All the colors and everything. The men's,
Oh yeah, that's it.
way different when it came to the materials. Yeah, and the grade school, it was like, nah. I took it back.
I mean, it's a little
I
beat,
don't
but
blame you. Did you get your money back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, there we go.
it definitely. I don't think this held up as good as a men's would have either.
Exactly.
Like,
Oh, that's what she's saying.
It's just
yeah, like it's all crinkly. Like I don't even have my Air Max. Don't really do that. My ones do that, but
Look
like
at that.
it was like cheaply made. So like I said, I just kind of I have them because I have them, but
when
The bigger picture is look at how the quality is.
yep.
And then even with the Jordan 1s, there's a difference in materials. The grade school feels more plastic, and there's even a difference in the build, like the structure of the shoe. When you
I tell people all the time, the number one shoe that ticked me off was the Midnight Navy Jordan 1. That shoe, if you have it in GS, then you already pissed off. Like your shoe is like slick paper, like cardboard on the tongue, and the men's is like this nice, humble, beautiful leather on it. And they talking about how great their shoe is, and I'm like, mine fold in half and it's a crinkle. Like it's just like it's horrible. It's literally like a piece of cardboard. Like
it's like, what can you do? They didn't start that shoe in our size.
right, and that's one that you didn't have the option, but here it is because I always wear it. But like this tongue is horrible. Like I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what this is. Like the men, they have tumbled leather. Like it. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's a piece of paper.
And you paid $130 for that shoe.
Something like that. 140. So it might have been 140.
Wow, $40 less than what they pay.
Uh-huh.
And you
Right.
get pretty much Chinese material. Like, I'm sorry,
Yes,
but that's the
definitely.
way it feels.
Some of the grade schools also, to me, like, look fake, almost like it's not real. Like, and we get questioned a lot at the shop. I've had people like DM us like, hey, my shoe looks different than the boys at my school or something. Is this fake? And they'll like question me, and I'm like, no, sorry. Unfortunately, Nike just doesn't put the quality in grade school as it does for men's pairs. But like blue stains, or even just like sometimes stitching and stuff will just be like crooked, like the Nike Air on the back of like a Jordan 4 or something, and like it'll almost look fake. That's like how bad the quality of grade school pairs are.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because
Damn.
every once in a while on my Instagram feed, you know, I post on foot shots and stuff like that. I'll get some troll that'll come on my page and be like, hey, your sneakers, like my Dornbucket 4. Oh, your sneakers look fake. They fake. They
Wow.
fake.
Just 404s.
It's a
but
grade school 4. It's gonna be cut different than a men's 4. Like now they're giving us the 4s in the men's cut, so it looks better. But my DB4 is a grade school cut 4. So yeah, there's some things missing because it's a kid's shoe. It's smaller. So
Right.
if you don't,
But the thing is, even back then, the 4s was different. We didn't have the hump on the midsole is different. Ours goes straight across. So I get people all the time, like if I wear, say, the Toro 4s or something, people like them fake. I'm like, no, that just lets me know that you just started collecting sneakers. And when this shoe came out, you didn't know that this shoe was made completely different from what a men's 4 looks like on the midsole. So therefore, I'm gonna need you to back on up over here and go down, because you don't know what you're talking about. And now your opinion now I literally have to call you out in this feed. I'm sorry, it happened.
Right.
But it's all the time. Like, and people, you know, you get trolls because people like, oh, ain't no way you got that shoe. Like, I wore my off-white ones, the UNC off-white ones.
Ooh.
You would not believe how many people were saying that shoe was fake, because the white paper tag that comes on that shoe, they're like, that tag don't come on that shoe. It's not supposed. I was like, well, this is who you gonna have to call. You're gonna have to call Nike, because when I was sitting at my desk at work and this shop dropped and I got it, I don't know, because if yours didn't come with it, then you might want to check it out. It might be a little suspect on your end. Right. Because when I got this from Nike, it came with all these little tags on here. I just happened to leave them on. Like,
do y'all think men would get that same type of treatment if there was the same shoe but posted on their Instagram?
No, not at all.
My off-white ones, I get the same comments too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like
standard. It's a double
and that
standard.
shoe didn't come in a GS or anything like that. You could only, it was only men's sizes. So if you got it, you got it. Just like with the Chicago one. So it was like, I mean, I get it. The shoe has a lot of fakes floating around. They're like, you got that white tag on your shoe. I'm like, yours didn't come with a white tag on it.
Okay.
Exactly. Might want to check that source, boo.
You might want to check that. But no, listen, hey, check this out. And that's I Sell Sneakers co-host. He always be saying, hey, yo, check this out. Why is there like, he loves saying that. Why is there 22 men who have their actual shoe? Like 22 men of the NBA have their shoe put out there, but only 12 women of the WNBA have their shoe put out there. There's this new cat, Sabrina Long. Y'all know her, Loneska? Sabrina Loneska. She's now have a women's shoe that just got released through Nike. Before her, it was 10 years ago. There's only 12 women in the WNBA right now that have their actual specialty shoe dropped versus 22 men. And I'm going to tell you this, a lot of men from the NBA watch the WNBA players play. So what I can't understand is, one, why are we at this point now? Because Karma Wonder and I Sell Sneakers at 313 said we have grown as women in this community, but we still got a long way to go. Tell me y'all thoughts. Like, why do y'all think that 22 men of the NBA versus 13 women of the WNBA? I'm talking real women. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoop, Cynthia Cooper, Diana Taurasi, like real women in the game that's really setting the trend. Why is that? Why we only got 13 women exclusive shoes for WNBA?
Because don't nobody watch the WNBA like that. Like that's just it. So
That's the
it's just
problem,
not, I
though.
mean,
Like,
not to
why
knock it or
WNBA
anything. I'm
not
not
being
saying that
watched?
they're not great athletes at all by far. I'm not saying that. But literally, it's not promoted like the NBA.
Yep.
It's not. It's you know, the players aren't put on a higher pedestal like the men are when it comes to playing sports like that. Basketball is like so many reasons why. Like, you know, and you got to think about it when you have your favorite player end up going out because, you know, she got pregnant. You know, that don't happen in the NBA. So, you know, they like, you know, we watching this and we watching that, you know, some women, you know, that happens. So they're watching who they can promote and who they can't promote. And then, you know, and then there's that whole stigma of women being lesbians in the NBA. And then you get that whole thing where people start talking about, oh, well, it's supposed to be family and wholesome. Do we want to portray this? Do we want to, there's so much stuff that they throw in there to where they don't want to like promote it like they should.
I don't think
Which shouldn't even matter. You know what
I
I'm
don't think
saying?
they promote it
You're
all.
an athlete. You're an athlete.
Personal
None of
stuff.
your personal preferences should go into that because my whole thing is some of these men that they promote, y'all might want to back up from some of them.
Okay, come on,
Yep.
man. Like,
Ain't
there's
all
a
that
lot of
wholesome
men not
either.
representing well.
Right,
think
but
what it
they
is-
shun on it. You know what I'm saying? They treat women like,
I-
you know what I'm saying?
I think what it is that the reason why there's such an unequally yoked thing going on here as far as the men in the NBA and the women in WNBA is that, like 313 said, people don't watch the WNBA. And I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't really watch the NBA like that. I usually
Not
only
anymore.
I usually only watch it during like playoff season. Now I do know a couple of the players here and there, but the WNBA just doesn't unless you're like a legit fan of the WNBA. Now you have people out there that will legit go to games that follow what some of these women are doing. They just don't fill the seats. They don't get the viewership, and I think it's just because the men's game. And I'm just being I'm being real with it. The
Just
men's
speaking.
games are more
Speak as a woman.
entertaining than watching the women's games. So it's kind of like the WNBA doesn't pull in the viewership. I think how they offset it is with some of the money that the NBA pulls in to help, you know, keep the WNBA afloat and pay these salaries. That's just what it is. Now, if women pull together and actually bought these tickets and went to these games, that would help them be seen.
Right.
And once they're seen and Nike is like, hey, you know what? They pulling in the viewership. They're filling these seats. So yeah, we can take that extra money and give one of these players a shoe and promote them. And I think that's just what it is. Like, I'm not gonna fill a cup that's not gonna return on the investment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. I don't really, there's a few people on Instagram that I follow that I know, like personally, that actually you'll see them sharing WNBA stuff. You'll see them talking about some of the players they actually, I don't know none of these players. I don't.
Me neither.
I don't.
You got to think
I
about it.
don't-
Women are more sexualized too. So,
Right.
you know, when you see people watching the game, they're like, oh, excuse me, but I'm going to say it. She got a fat ass. Like, you ain't even watched her make this three,
Wow.
though. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing even in the sneaker community, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not really, you know, I see it where they start, you know, had a YouTube things or whatever, and they start talking about, you know, the women in the sneaker culture, and they're not even talking about sneakers. They talking about who got the nice rack, who got the nice ass, all this other stuff. And then you get the Instagram models who want to turn to sneakers, who aren't really into sneakers, and then you see them repost them on their page. They couldn't tell you about the sneaker that they wearing, but they in a G-string.
I'm gonna
So
tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is what you were saying and what you were saying. It's lack of promotion, it's lack of marketing. Because I don't know about y'all, when we were growing up, we saw commercials, we saw stories behind these shoes. And if Tiana Taylor isn't an example of what happened, she went out, promoted her shoes, she had a story with it,
Hey.
commercials.
Yep.
You knew what was going on, when it was coming out, and how to cop it. And that's how it sold out. they don't do what they did with Jordan and Pippen and Larry. And
Right.
they don't do what they did with all of them. So
Mm-mm.
like Ja, for example, he got controversy and sold out with no problem. So what they try to do is give shoes to people that they think can sell on their own and kind of go from there. They don't put any marketing, any promotion. It's like ain't nobody in that room no more. I mean, they need to get an AI thing or something and just come up with a storyboard or something, because
because where's this Generation Like Mike commercial?
I look forward to stuff like that.
I think the advertisement and the marketing kind of scaled back because of social media. Like us, all of us here up on this panel are free marketing for Nike. We buy these shoes, we put them on, we put fits together, we make reels about these put together, we take on foot, we post multiple times of the same shoe.
I mean, multiple.
It was like, I got all this whole sneaker community on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook selling this. I can cut my marketing budget in half. Teyana Taylor is gonna sell a shoe. One, she lives the life. She lives that life. How many men and women
we can relate
fits every day? I see men and women sharing her and her fits every day because she actually lives that life. She's a sneaker head. So even if Nike did no marketing, because it's her, Harlem gonna stand up for her. Period.
Harlem stood up for her, man.
It's like
New York standing up. Period.
Harlem. Okay, let's say New York. Let's say Cali. Let's say Miami. Let's say all the big terminals of it.
Right.
We're talking about mid-America people where, like right now, if I know a shoe's coming out, I'll get to talking in the community or something. And then it's like, oh, what the shoe look like? Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Now I got my phone's ringing. It's a line outside the store. How I'm supposed to get it? Ooh, you doing raffles? What you doing? First come, first serve. So in like St. Louis, East St. Louis, sometimes you got to hype beast stuff. So they don't know it unless they see it visually. Like a lot of people, the only people that got Teyana Taylor shoes here is the same people that I see at my sneaker shows. So we got like a community here. So that's who you're going to see it with. Like everybody every day just walking in the store is not going to know what that is until you show it to them.
Until you show it.
I got you.
Dang.
Major cities though, they shut it down. They bought. I mean, well, one, because it was anticipated. I don't know how many times Teyana Taylor's name came up in conversations on YouTube streams, on Twitter Spaces, on Instagram Lives. Like, yo, why she don't have a shoe? Like all the other women
talked it up.
You got the. You got the Melody Asani, you got the Laylee May, you got the Rox Brown, you got I forget her name with the twos, like Vashti. You got Vashti with the twos. It's like, okay, come on now. She gets fly.
Yeah.
Wear her shoe. And she wear y'all shoes all the time. Where's her shoe?
Some BX.
So it was anticipated, so I knew her shoe was gonna sell out regardless. Because she's easy marketing. She reeks of Jordan brand all over her feed.
I mean, she's her own creative. Like you don't have to do anything except give her the shoe. That's it. She gonna do everything else.
Exactly. She gonna put it on with a fit. That's it.
Wow. Ooh,
you know
that is a fire ass discussion, man. That's a fire discussion.
Ty Young. Why Ty Young didn't have a shoe?
Ty Young still don't have one.
I do know Ty Young. Now Ty Young was putting the fits on.
Yeah, they said Ty Young be selling kicks to the community.
She do. She got rid of most of the Nike and Jordan brand shoes because she was like, yo, they don't rock with me. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not giving them my money anymore.
And Tia Weird Customs is serving up some stuff up in this chat. Tia Cooper is a major marketing. She's a TikTok all-star. And she went old boy from the Saints. No marketing. None. No shoe, no nada. Nothing.
Yeah.
And why? Why not? And Allie Mae, she don't get a lot of play either to me. Like, I'm sorry. And Aaliyah, I didn't know about Aaliyah, Karma Wonder, till you came on the show and told me about Aaliyah. Yeah.
Well, I got a couple of her shoes. Her shoes sell.
Yeah.
Her shoes sell. But it's like
she could be out there. And I'm gonna tell you this: in the South, Tiana Taylor got no marketing. The only reason why I knew her shoe was dropping is because I'm on the sneakers app. There was no type of like discussion. There was no hype about it. There was no like you saw it on Twitter. I had no idea Tiana Taylor's shoe was dropping because again, you know, we talked before we went live. But the simple fact is, y'all knew about it when we didn't even know about it in the South. And we knew about the mother shoes being dropped in honor of a man.
Right. I think
a mogul of a dude.
Nike drops the ball on that because they focus on the major cities, the major hubs when sneakerheadism, if that's a word, is worldwide. Mm-hmm. They everywhere. They in the sticks. They living in Nebraska. They living in Wyoming. They living in all them places I ain't never heard of. They not
if they don't
New York,
Michigan, they're dang near impossible to get in the sticks though in places like that. One, they don't have anywhere to really market them to. Like a lot of the say in the South, you know what I'm saying? It's so spread out. You know what I mean? They don't have like major sneaker stores because it's not a major city anywhere nearby a lot of places. You know what I'm saying? So where you get, you know, your closest neighbor, you're going to have to hit the flashlight and flick that sucker in Morse code to know what's going on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're not for real going to market there. So, but it's crazy because even here in Detroit, it's ginormous here, but they don't market like that here.
Really?
We got a whole Nike community store. They don't do the things like they do. We don't get sneaker passes here. We don't get those things at all. Like that don't happen here. Like our Nike community store is, you go down there, it's hit or miss. You may find something nice, you may not. But they don't do the special releases all the time. Like sometimes they'll get one here and there. Like I think they just like, but the thing is they'll get in stuff in there and it'll be like, I think they just not too long ago got the Cherry 11s in. Might have been B grade for all I know. You know what I mean? So it's
I don't understand the sneaker pass thing because literally you're right. It's like New York sneaker pass, LA sneaker pass, and like Chicago sometimes they do.
Chicago. Next door, 4 hours away. But Detroit, one of the major cities, is right here. Known for, you know, Detroit got his thing going. It's got its own swag.
Detroit is Motor City, baby.
I'm right in Philly. And because the sneakers passes in New York, I'm out of the range. I can't even hit on it unless I'm given fair warning that there's a sneaker pass coming for me to get in the car and drive 115 down a highway to get in range. I'm never gonna hit on the sneakers pass.
Yeah, that's the same way I am in Miami. I'm like maybe a 15-minute drive just outside of range to hit on it. Yep. By the time you get in range, they're gone. It's a wrap. Yeah.
You'd have to know in advance.
I don't understand that, the whole sneakers pass thing. Like, what are they basing it on?
Right. And my thing is, don't come on here and ask me if I think the sneakers app is fair, but then you do things like sneaker pass and it's legit bias. Like you can't get no bias in that because you're literally targeting an area like Chicago. Why do you have to target Chicago for Jordan? You already know what's going to happen.
Right.
With a Jordan in Chicago, like
gender disparity to the top of the rack.
Like it's a slap in the face.
Like, come on. We all know what's going to happen when we release that in Chicago. Like, who's going to be there to get it before the women even see it? Like, and this is not a time for us to like bash men. But when we do the research as women and we try to find out what are women voices in the sneaker community, there's nothing out there. We pretty much want to start that conversation is what are women going through. Now, listen, Nikki Pooh, she's been in the comments being like, hey, listen, I'm not feeling women's like the WNBA releases. I'm not feeling how they look. I'm not feeling the colorway. And Nikki Pooh's a cool one. She got her own YouTube channel. She's also a woman in the sneaker game. So I love the fact that she's being able to voice that right now. Yo, listen, I'm not a fan of the WNBA releases. I don't like how they look. Now that new one, listen, that little girl, Sabrina Ionescu, y'all need to check her out. She was at Kobe Bryant's camp back when he used to have his camps. Homegirl now got that new exclusive dropping off this month, but also too, she got a little bit of Kobe Bryant design in her shoe. So I'm saying that shoe should be selling. when that shoe does release at the end of the month, it should be selling if she's intertwining Kobe Bryant inside of that shoe. But a lot of times that don't matter either. It don't matter.
If they don't
Amen,
market,
my
if they
queen.
don't story tell it like that,
We're talking about we should do a Million Women March sneaker version.
I'll be right there, man.
There's even an unequalness when it comes to the design. Like if you think about it, they gave Travis a Jordan 1 and he did whatever, threw a swoosh on it backwards. That was the most change you've seen, you know what I'm saying, in a Jordan 1, and that, people ran with it.
right?
Whereas like you gave what's the mid that you got 313, the Melody Asani, right?
With
Yeah.
watches on it.
With the
Yeah,
watch.
what's up there, Charles?
Yeah, it's like it's a Jordan 1 mid. The quality
With a
isn't
watch
the
on it.
greatest on it, with a watch on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they give
saw
a
that.
shoe to a man and he kind of can do what he want with it.
Mhm.
Where it's like when they give it the design to a woman, it's like, okay, you got these materials, you got
Here's
these,
the colors.
and do
Go
something.
for it.
This is your shoe.
This is the limits you have to work in.
Right, and
within
it's
here.
like, wait,
And this
what?
is the we're giving, like you said, like the closest we've gotten to that change of a Jordan 1, I guess, with Travis Scott would be this Zoom Comfort with Tiana Taylor just did. Like,
Oh, that's true.
that's the next one. Like that's the most creative they've ever let anybody get, other than, of course, the Off-White. But
Right.
those 3 shoes right there are probably the most, I would say, out there that they've let anybody get with Jordan brand or anything, change it up. I mean, and that's the part that I'm saying. I'm like, that sneaker, for me, when I saw it, like everybody, when first you saw the people going around, I'm like, I'm right off rip, like, oh my God, that sneaker is dope. That's sweet. Like, because I like what they let her do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's so crazy because you see these people with this change, and then they like, oh, standoffish to change. And then when the shoe drop, you can't get it. You're like, wait a minute, I thought all y'all hated this shoe. What's happening? I was tripping when I was liking it when I first saw the pictures, but all of a sudden it's gone. Like, oh, that shoe cold, it's nice, it's dope.
Right.
No, let me go back in my comments. Did you delete it? Because I can't.
Girl, you
All
already
it takes is
bought it,
one.
you trying to sell it to us.
It's crazy as hell to me, but I'd be like, again, it's just crazy.
They said Don C, but word is he didn't even design that. Don C didn't even design that. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women, again, behind the scenes designing a lot of these shoes, and they're not getting that recognition, and we still having to pay the same price as a men's shoe.
Oh, yeah.
That needs to change. They are $4-point-something billion industry. They're not gonna lose no sleep or no money if they start putting in women's releases at a decent price.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
And-
Do
and-
help, look out for us. But how y'all feel about men stealing women's content? I'm gonna go there. How do y'all feel about that? Like women coming up with ideas and men taking those ideas and turning them into gold pretty much and running with it. But it honestly was a woman's idea.
Because 9 times out of 10 anyway, behind every great man is an amazing woman. Like, that's literally what happens anyway. That's a tale as old as time. That's all they ever do.
She ain't lie.
You sound like somebody grandma 313.
I'm like, I know I got
Tale
an
as
answer.
old
I
as
know why.
time.
Because again, and with who they decide to give a sneaker to, you put a man's face in front of it, it's gonna be like, take off. You give a woman, just like, I mean, even with my channel, you know what I'm saying? You put men out there, you know what I'm saying? You could drop the same content. You could have the latest sneakers, you could have this, you could have that, you could be doing it the exact same way. That man's channel is going to take off faster than that women's channel.
Yeah.
I've been in groups with other
I've
YouTubers,
seen that.
and I've been the only female in that group. And I mean, not that they're not great content creators, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've been to the point where I've been like, like my channel has been like, only because I get to the point where I get tired of putting in that effort and that work, and then it'd be like, it just flopped because, whatever reason. But it's just like
the same thing.
The same thing. Even if I don't show my face, if I just do a quick, you know what I'm saying, like a quick, what's the The 15-second thing, the video.
The short.
Yeah, the shorts. That's what they call them on YouTube. I be listen, reels on Instagram, shorts over. I be like, listen.
I think what it is when it comes to the content, when the men create the content, the men show up for him, and the women.
Yep.
But when the women create the content, the women don't necessarily show up for the women, and I see that in the community as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, women don't. There's cattiness.
Yeah.
And like I mean, at our big age, we shouldn't even be.
Man.
With what's going on in the world, we need to be supporting one another. Period. Hands down.
Hands down.
There's room for everyone to eat. There's 400 different types of bread in the bread island. Every one of them sell because they on them in them aisles every week.
Right.
We can do the same. We just gotta get out of our own I guess you want to say
ego.
Yes.
Get out your ego, man.
For our fellow female, you know what I'm saying? Because like 313 said, I'm in like a bunch of different like chats and Facebook groups, and the only female in the motherfucker like
is you.
Yep.
Now I
you, and then not being taken serious. Because you wouldn't know because you're a woman. Like Jenny goes through with reselling at her shop. She said that she didn't have people coming in and tell her because she a girl, she don't know what the hell she's talking about.
The one thing I can say about being
and she owns the shop.
Female groups is everybody in there got big ass feet. So if it's a grade school shoe, I can get them to try for me. But other than that, it's like.
See, Wendell brought up a good point. Like, yeah, both of those channels have taken off, but again, those aren't strictly sneakers either. You know, like Marissa, she's a model. Like that's what she does. You know, she's a model who loves sneakers. TJ, you know what I'm saying? She's in the sport, she's in the finances and other things. So those are both, you know what I'm saying? Like before her name was something totally different before Talks with TJ, and it was more, you know, she had her book she was pushing with the financial goals. Like she still talks about that stuff. So that's a whole, she brings in crowds from different angles, and then she still does that. But like I've watched them, like from small channels to blowing up. You know what I mean? So there's that too. So it's just, if you're stuck on like, I just like sneakers, like I don't bring nothing else into it. None of that. And y'all ain't about to catch me modeling nothing. That ain't about to happen. That ain't me. I ain't no model. Yeah. Just that model, but I ain't doing that.
Even with some of the big sneaker pages on Instagram, they only share one type of female. They don't share what we see on this panel.
My little chunky dark skin butt ain't about to blow up on nowhere.
Ain't no nut. We regular everyday around the way girls. We all cute, we all fly, but we ain't out there with silicone in our booty.
No, we ain't doing
booty shots, a G-string and a pair of off-whites. We not doing it. That's why we won't get busted.
No.
And it's like, that's not what your everyday female sneakerhead looks like. They look like us.
Thank you.
We the ones buying the clothes. As you can see, she ain't got none on. So
this goes back to what 313 was saying about even in the WNBA, how women are so sexualized. You don't mind seeing a woman in a dope pair of kicks as long as her body is built right and she's wearing the right kind of, you know, next to nothing type of whatever. They want to see like a sexy woman in some sneakers. They don't want to
trying to see an apple bottom and
a woman that they don't want to see somebody who can dress and put it together and still wear the kicks. They don't want all of that.
Yeah, I like what Nikki Pooh said, kind of piggybacking on an eye for kicks. She said they expect women to be in full face makeup and half naked to get people to the channel. And that's what I'm not doing. I'm not doing that because people ask me all the time, why your channel don't grow? And I'm like, because one, I don't want it to. It can be as slow as it needs to be because I don't like pressure. Pressure stresses me out. I got into this for fun and to connect.
Yep.
I don't give a damn about no subscribers. That's why I don't really care that it goes or goes up. Just like the video, so I can stay in the algorithm, whatever.
Right.
But the whole point of it is for connection.
Right.
And it's to learn. Like
Right.
each one of y'all have taught me so much because I came in so blind and older. And then I was also taunted about that. Well, you like 40 plus, like what you getting into this for? The typical people that spend are millennials.
Right.
That's what the research is saying. The typical people who spend on kicks are millennials. Somebody said that in the comments too.
Well, that just happened.
Huh?
That just happened. Because they didn't care about kicks then. You know
That
what I mean?
just
Like,
listen, it's 39%. That's what the research says of millennials who spend over anybody born after that millennial time period is at 26%. So they say millennials is who are driving this sneaker culture from 1982 to 1999.
I mean,
I can believe it.
I mean, I
yeah,
get it.
but, I mean,
Like because I've been doing this for a while, so you kind of grow up in it.
Yeah.
And then you have kids. You buy it for your kids. You buy it for, like you were saying earlier, your godson, your goddaughter, and you kind of usher other people into it. So like I could believe it. And then like that was a good time to, you know, be in the sneakers.
Oh
So,
my God, that was
yeah.
the best time in my opinion. I'm sorry.
we
That
got
was the best
introduced to a
time.
lot in that time. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then
39%.
with everything kind of retroing now, it's nostalgia.
mhm.
You can remember
Which
you
is
were
so
in
crazy
5th grade
because
and your
when
grandma gave
I
this
can
to you
pull
because
out a
you had
shoe.
all A's on your report card. So
They got you know,
like, you get
daughter.
to
Hey,
crazy because
I-
that retro, everybody waiting on that
I
cherry
feel you.
12
I
to drop.
sell sneakers.
mhm.
Okay,
Cherry 12.
let's keep it real. Everybody want that cherry 12 to drop, right? When that cherry
December.
12 came out, it wasn't normal to be a girl walking around with that brand new shoe,
Mm-mm.
this same funky shoe from back then. This shoe right here, when I put it on my foot and wore it to high school, nah, wasn't nobody like looking at me going, "Oh, that shoe dope! I can't believe you got that shoe." This, that. But
Mm-mm.
now all of a sudden, everybody want that shoe.
Panama Queen hit the nail on the head, baby. Good Lord. Y'all don't bring drama to y'all channels. Most of the male channels do. Folks gonna view drama.
Yeah, Panama Queen, man, she been hitting a couple of comments
And
in there. I've been
you,
looking at hers.
I had a channel, Mature Kids. It was me, Word Customs, and Hella Lace. And it wasn't just discussion about sneakers. We talked about current events. We talked about life. We talked about relationships. We talked a little bit about everything. And
Nice.
we would draw in, you know, a good crowd because a lot of us have been in the sneaker community. A lot of us have met other people in person. So those people flocked to our channels and brought other people to watch, you know, our content. But we weren't growing as fast as some of the other channels because we weren't selling controversy. And it's like, that's crazy. Like, is that all you want to consume? Like, we have enough negativity going on. Why not you want to consume like positive stuff? You want thought-provoking conversations. Why not have that? But it doesn't grow as fast. And it's like when you like put a lot of time, like we spent a lot of time because our show was very structured. Like we had segments where we talked about certain things, and we would literally do research. We had graphs, we had charts. We would show, you know, data to back up the things that we were talking about. We would take questions from the people in the chat. Like every once in a while, we would relax it and not have it so structured. Wouldn't have people come up on the panel and talk with us. But it was just like, if we ain't talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine getting beat up and re-airing it, nobody's gonna flock to see it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It is definite. So what we doing as we continue to strive in this, you know, your podcast, I Sell Sneakers, everybody's YouTube channel, Karma Wonder, you hold it down with them pictures on Instagram. Jenny, the only female sneaker store owner in the South of Tennessee, ranging all the way up to where, Jenny? Where's the next female sneaker owner, store owner at?
mean, the only one that I know of is in Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because we doing this in Karma Wonder, I need you to bring that back, man. That is really good how you had that going with them topics, because they need to know, okay, outside of an Eye for Kicks with her amazing videos and her shorts and her, her feedback on the shoe, there is some underlying issues with how we are being seen in this community and culture, and the future of where we're going, to me, looks great. It looks great because we're honestly now holding these spaces of conversations. Like, where y'all at with how y'all seeing the future of where women are in sneakers? Because I think we gonna really take hold of it very well. Which, like one of y'all said, some changes need to occur. I'm kind of tired of looking at the same faces to represent the sneaker culture, man. I'm sorry, but I am. Ain't enough women out there representing it the way we are. Underground.
I think one thing is we're gonna have to get out of our own way. We are our own worst enemy. We gotta show up for each other. Like fellas,
and that's it
for the fellas.
Yeah,
we show up for each other. It's simple as united.
Women are trying to compete against each other too much. I feel like that's one of the biggest things you see is like it's a competition. The men all band together, but us women, for whatever reason, like want to make it a competition about which woman looks the best in the shoes, or which one is pulling in the most attention with whatever means necessary. And you just don't see enough, us joining together.
I think the society that has kind of created that, though, to make women against each other, society and media and all that has like created tension between
and
women.
it's not just in sneakers, it's literally in everything. It's
you talking about
you know what I mean? Like,
you talking about what is that show called Love and Hip Hop ATL? You talking about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
I bet.
I see how people watch that stuff. I can't stand it. I can't.
I love it. That's my guilty pleasure. That ratchet.
But there's a lot of marketing of women competing. They do a good job in marketing that.
But it's
not be on the same page.
It sells because people are going to tune in and watch it. It's been that way since the beginning of time.
And
look, me and Danny could get on the show right now and constantly bicker with each other, and the numbers will go. Like, we could sit there, me and Danny could sit and talk in the background about, okay, wait, this gonna be your standpoint on it, and you gotta say this, and then I'm gonna say this. We could have a whole script going back and forth for how we, and then we're gonna be like, okay, and then once we get to this point, we're gonna start arguing about it, and then this one you call me a bitch, and then let me tell you something, that whole show will blow up, and me and Danny be sitting in the back going, look at this shit.
Look at how this blew up.
Look at this. Like, you can have a whole scripted scenario of it. And I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy that it will blow up like that. But you can't sit and be cordial and have and actually communicate and have a dialect that goes back and forth, and people will still, tune in or whatever. It's crazy. I mean, I've watched it, and then it's crazy because, like, even when I go on my show, I have women in the chat because Danny comes on and Eye for Kicks, like Danny, words in there and things like that. But most of the people that are in there are men.
Yeah, they are. Because I've been in
most of the people that come in there, they're men. Like, the women aren't tuning in. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Sometimes watching YouTube all day long, it make your eyeballs hurt. Like, you just be like, okay, you got to pick and choose your battle sometimes. And sometimes you got to take a break from it. I mean, some people can sit there 4-5 hours in a row. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't one of them. I'd be blinking all hard, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, I'd be like, listen, that's enough YouTube and sneakers. Like, I need to disconnect for a minute and like just stop it. But he'll sit there, just let it. But we also will do that where like we'll watch Who Has the Heat, like older videos, and just let it run while we're doing whatever else we're doing at home, or our own videos. Like, if we don't have the time to sit and watch it, we can at least let it run.
Let it run. Yep. And you create you a playlist and you just let it go.
We understand the value of just the views and how much it means to anybody.
Yeah, and that helps keep people in the algorithm. It does.
We We can't even get that from some of our closest friends. They're like, oh, we don't care about sneakers. You don't have to care. Just turn it on your computer, let it run and walk away.
Right.
That's it.
Go shopping. Who cares?
Yes, give
Right.
us absolutely. Subscribe.
I ain't about
Right.
to thumbs up. I'd be
Thumbs
like,
up. Go back
we
to that.
ain't doing nothing else until we get these many thumbs up. I ain't moving no more.
Oh man,
Right.
Y'all be mad at me, don't y'all?
But you
I
get
got a
your
lot.
thumbs up, you get your likes, you get what you need. I mean, listen.
I
It's
try
just
for
that
everyone.
push.
I
But
try
and I-
for everyone. It's so many people that's pushing out content. So sometimes I have one person's thing playing
Too
on my
much.
phone, one person's thing playing on my iPad, one person's thing playing on the computer, one person's thing playing on the TV. And the ones that I miss, I'll go the next day and I'll watch. I'll let it play. I'll like. I'll comment because I'm trying to get, give everyone love. But
Mhm.
not everyone shares the same sentiment. So
Right.
What's up, Erica?
I know. Listen, Wendell Dillon is funny. This person said, if you ever was in elementary school and you heard fight, if you ran to see it, that's exactly why.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's my baby. He hilarious.
That is really funny. And Wendell, he's really speaking some stuff. He's like, we don't necessarily band together. We tolerate each other, but business ain't personal. And that's Wendell's a guy, right?
Mhm.
Is that from you 313?
Yeah.
And Weird Customs, they serving up. It's like back in the day, a woman gotta have a man or a group of men to co-sign them, like Lil Kim and Biggie and Foxy with Jay-Z, Nas, and
Yep.
AZ. Yep.
You do.
Yep.
It's crazy because
Yep.
when I first started my job where I'm at now 6 years ago, and they told us that we can wear jeans and sneakers. We just had to wear a collared shirt. Well, the guys had to wear collared shirts. Women, we can get away with anything. But when I would wear sneakers, I would come to work every day with a different pair of shoes on. So people started noticing it. And then every day when I would come in and sit at my desk, they would come to my desk, what shoes you got on today? And then there was a guy that worked on the other side of the building. He wore sneakers too. And they were like, you need to meet so-and-so. I've never in my life seen a girl have so many shoes. Like, how many shoes do you have? And it was like taboo. Like a girl with sneakers is like it's unheard of. And I would think that by this time that we were broken out of that. Like it's so crazy. Like my brother hit me up. This was like a couple of months ago, and he was working some warehouse job, and it was a guy in there annoying him, talking about how many sneakers he got this, he got that. So my brother messages me. He was like, yo, take a video of your room real quick. Like, I need to shut this guy up. The video of my room, and I sent it to my brother, and he messaged me back. He was like, he's quiet now. He was like, yo, my sister does this. Like, stop it.
Yeah, that's funny. Because when we have a dress code at my job. Like, we don't go in anymore. I only go like once a week. Not I haven't been in a minute. But even before like the pandemic and everything, and it got to the point where I eased my way into wearing my sneakers to work every day because technically we're not supposed to. So it got to the point where I would take my sneaker and put it up on my desk because people would always ask what you got on. And my feet under my desk. So I got to the point where I would take my sneakers off and I would put them up on my desk, and people would just walk by like, oh yeah, that's what she wears. She wears sneakers. She do this. She like, you want any kind of, she got every kind of sneaker. I'm like, I don't got every kind of sneaker, but it got to the point where that was my thing. And like even with the dress code, they kind of just let it slide because that was my thing. And I'm like, listen, this is who I am. Y'all either gonna have me working here or you're not, because I can't. This is where my money go. I can't be wearing these. I got my couple pair of penny loafers, but I listen.
That's the one thing I miss about going to the office because we work from home now. Like me coming to work every day, they were like, how many pairs of shoes you have? And I'd be like, well, count every day. And when you start seeing me repeat it, then that's how many shoes I have.
Right.
It's almost like I became infectious because like other people around me started buying shoes and they would come to my desk and show me their shoes for validation. Yeah. It was so weird. Like even now, my doctor, because I had to get a procedure done to my elbow. When I go to his office for my visits, he comes in. He's like, "Look, check out my kicks. Check out." Like what?
It is. It definitely is. Like we have some. I have some. Like I work in a for a home care agency. So the nurses that come in, like one of the ones that's on my team, she come in and she's like, "Hey, look, I got these Jordans. Did you see these? These came out. How can I get these? Can you help me get this?" And then like another one, he's into sneakers, but he wanted to get a pair for his wife. He's like, he hit me up. He called me on my personal phone, like, "Hey, I got a question. These shoes, I want to get them for my wife," and so. So it's amazing to see where people connect. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like at first it's all work. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out you have this interest in common, and then it goes. And even if they weren't interested at first, they're like, "Oh, my daughter was telling me about this," and then all of a sudden you could see that relationship build, and you build a rapport with people who you probably never would have really built a rapport with,
Right.
and it's just kind of like you built that on sneakers, and you're like, "Oh yeah, we work together," but
I work in a dental office, like admin stuff, insurance stuff, and my boss is like, "I know that you're into sneakers. I know you have this channel. Just wear your sneakers as long as you keep dressed business casual." And then it's at a university, so we have like student dentists coming in, and they'll see the shoes that I'm wearing, or they'll wear their shoes. And while I wish we had more respect from the men, it's also fun to be able to walk by a guy and call out exactly what he's got on his feet, and then he look at you like,
"Oh, I love that."
But I have one of the head dentists. He knows that I'm into shoes, so anytime he sees somebody with some cool shoes on, he brings them right around to my little office, and then it creates that connection. And then the person's like, "Oh, you do YouTube? Oh, let me subscribe to your channel." And and then it just it has its pros and cons.
It does.
It's dope when it comes full circle like that.
Definitely TLC.
Yeah.
I was looking at the comment. We was talking. I couldn't even imagine like Lisa Lopez like being around right now to be like, it would be insane. Like,
listen. Aaliyah. Can you imagine where Aaliyah would be right now in her 40s on how she was? Aaliyah put a stamp on a lot of that
with her.
That urban female male look, because she brought that little bitty tank with that little waistline, them big baggy pants with them sneakers on, that long hair and the eye. Don't play, man. I'm an Aaliyah fan. I'm a diehard Aaliyah fan. But she showed the rap game, one, that women can be in movies, be young and beautiful, and do that same thing that y'all do. And two, I can also make music too, and model, and be on soundtracks, and do all these infamous things. Like, y'all about to make me come up out my hat. This is so good, man. You got the back going crazy up in here.
We just gotta learn to give each other grace, give each other flowers. We've been doing it. Like and I believe this in my heart wholeheartedly. When it comes to like collecting, I feel like we are just the better collectors. Like
I agree.
Our collections are more diverse, and when it comes to the fits, like, y'all remember them ugly Yeezy boots that kind of look like wedges?
Yeah.
And all the guys was doing fit pics with them. Every last one of them was trash. I don't care. The women that were putting on them ugly boots almost sold it to me, because that's how good they made that ugly boot look. The women was killing it.
And fully clothed too.
It's an ugly shoe.
And fully clothed.
Exactly.
So we do this. It's like we just got to get out of our own way. Like we shut it down. We could own this. We just got to get out of our own way. And I fully, wholeheartedly just believe that.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is what makes that change occur. Women coming together in positive spaces and really being able to talk. Nobody's holding up a shoe. We actually are very smart behind this sneaker copying. Like, we all lead beautiful, amazing lives, working in very amazing careers. We're not dumb or stupid, and we don't know what we're doing. Yes, we do, because we lead households. We lead jobs. I sell sneakers, not dreams. Wow, she's in the community hardcore. Has anybody ever done a newspaper story on you?
I don't know.
As they should. And they should.
You holding it down over there. She
Cutting
always
kids'
been
hair
hardcore
for
with her
free.
sneakers.
in the community. You know, you got the podcast. There's so many women that need to be highlighted in their city. But again, we're being dominated by our lovely male gender, beautiful species. Like, we love y'all, but y'all got it too easy, in my opinion.
I'm glad I don't care about none of that though. Do all that stuff because my mom always told me, hey, do whatever you want. So I do what I want.
Right, right.
If I want to be in the community, if I want to do some haircuts, if I want to do a sneaker show, look, I might not have all the money for it, but guess what? I'm find somebody who do.
But we make a way.
Right.
We make a way because that's just what women do.
Right.
We've been doing this since the beginning of time. Like coming down to feeding our families. You know what I'm saying? We did whatever we had to do. We multifaceted, and we just, like, again,
Yeah, we are.
Right.
Like we do this. So it's no reason why we shouldn't be shining brighter in this community than we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. One thing I want to hit on, I want to discuss with y'all, then we can get ready to close it out. And hey, thank y'all in the chat, man. Y'all been coming in. They have been like literally vibing with us in the chat. So shout out to the peoples in the chat. Thank y'all for taking the time on Friday night to hit us up. But listen to this. Guess what I found out? Even my husband was blown away with this because I was like, wow. And this is a collective. This is men and women. It says that the United States has the largest footwear market in the world, amounting to over 80 billion per year. Approximately a third of that revenue for this country is from athletic shoe sales alone.
Wow.
Where that money going, y'all?
That's crazy.
A third of the United States. I guess we're gonna end on that note. Everybody's shaking their heads like,
BX, we're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna see when we're gonna do this again.
we're gonna do this again. So we want y'all to know in the chat, we coming with facts, we coming with perspective. I love y'all. I listen, we all in different cities and states right now. Like this. Okay.
We just need this to happen more often with
Yeah.
a wider range of us. Yes.
We're gonna come back. Y'all, do anybody want to have any closing remarks? Do y'all want to share where they can find y'all? Whatever, do whatever y'all want, and we'll just, and then 313 will hit that end button and we gone on this Saturday night. Y'all want to share where the people can find you or what? What y'all want to do?
That's my name right there.
Right.
It's opposite. So you gotta you know what I'm saying?
Yep. I did it too. Right there.
Well, right there.
Instagram, yeah. They know where to find us.
Yeah. And if y'all want us back, leave a comment. You know, we'll come back. There's no pressure to our schedule. We're going to do this when we want to do this because that's the whole point. But hey, women, thank y'all for taking the time and believing in this and coming in and doing this. And at 313, thank you for holding that whole space, man. I appreciate it.
I got a question for Jenny real quick. Jenny, are you just like a local store or do you ship like?
So I do ship,
okay.
And everything we post, we have a website, but everything I post, everything new on the story every day.
Okay.
So that's like the best way to keep up to date because it's buy sell trade, so stuff goes in and out pretty rapidly. So it's hard to keep the website as up to date. So it's easy for us to, as soon as we get a new shoe in the same day, we'll post it. Little boomerang with all the sizes that we have or whatever. So, and if it's new or used or any questions that you have, you can DM me. And
So y'all hear that, chat? Make sure y'all follow her. Follow her to get the alerts. Follow I Sell Sneakers.
Oh,
follow her. Her podcast. I just follow her podcast on Apple Podcasts. If you got Android,
you need to follow her podcast. It's good.
If you got Android, I guess you gotta do Spotify.
Pandora, I found it there.
And 313, follow her. She has her show. Of course, you got to follow Jace for Days.
Oh, love y'all, man.
Follow her. She has an amazing channel. She does sneaker content. She travels. She vlogs. She does all of that good stuff. I don't have a channel. I'm on Instagram, but I do have a website. It's by DannyNicole.com. I do tie-dye socks, shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks,
I'm
all
gonna
that, you name
I'm
it.
gonna hit you up for some tie-dye stuff for sure.
Yeah, man. Karma Wonder. When I found Karma Wonder on Instagram, I thought I hit the lottery. I was like, "Ooh, these posts, whoa, these shoes." And then she had her shoe on a reel, and I was like, "Is that real? Like, is her sneaker room
Danny got every
for
shoe.
real?"
I'm trying to tell you. She got all the shoes. I'm trying to tell you.
Danny got all.
I'm telling you.
It's so crazy because one of my picture, I took a picture of one of my sneaker walls in this room, and Container Store hit me up. So it's actually on their Pinterest. If you go to their Pinterest site, you'll find my sneaker wall on their Pinterest site. It's crazy.
That's dope.
That is real dope, man. I told you, I fell in
Container
love.
Store don't be promoting nobody like that either. So that's dope.
But we going to promote each other. We coming back, y'all. We gonna come with a whole new topic. We gonna come with a whole new whatever we want to talk about because we rule the world, girls. We'll rule the world.
And we
Girls, we
pulling
rule the
some
world.
new faces to get a different perspective.
We can do that.
Definitely.
We can do that. All right, y'all. It's a wrap. Y'all ready to go?
I'm ready to go. You ready?
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all. Thank y'all so much.